Hey guys, this is Ray with US385, and today I'd like to do something different. I'm going to call it show and tell. So I'm going way back on this one. And for today's show and tell, I'd like to show you a Benchmade knife. It's the Benchmade 698 gold class called the Foray, F-O-R-A-Y. And the gold class knife is distinguished because it has marbled carbon fiber, mother of pearl, and it uses an exclusive damasteel, which basically it has a beautiful etching on it. I'm gonna put a picture up, or a link to some pictures, but I mean, look at this thing. It's a work of art. The opening action is absolutely fluid. The pattern on it is beautiful, and it costs over $600. So that's why I'm talking about it right now. A lot of people might see something that costs what is an exorbitant amount of money for a knife, for a pocket knife, and they may disregard it just because of the price that it costs, you know, frankly, because it's a lot of money. That's a substantial amount of groceries. That's a few car payments. It's a lot. But what it isn't is it's not the ability to have this finely crafted piece of equipment that, for someone like me who works on the trails and, you know, doesn't normally go slicing you know, lumber and all that, for someone like me who cuts things occasionally but appreciates nature, for an example. I mean, look at the mother of pearl. Look at that. The feeling of the material is very natural. And as I was noting earlier, for someone who appreciates nature, look at the logo of the Benchmade knife. I'm trying to see it on the camera and make sure it's in focus, so don't let me creep you out if it looks like I'm looking into your living room on occasion, and then off to the side of you. But anyway, the logo, look at it, it's beautiful. It's a little butterfly. I like nature, so look at the colors. It's an interesting knife. And again, it works the way that you would expect something beautifully crafted in USA to work. It works just like what you would expect, something that was made by local innovators and craftsmen right here in your own hometown. And that's not a knock against other countries or their craftsmanship. I'm just saying, while we're concerned with increasing wages and all that, perhaps maybe we should increase our spending to be commensurate with what we would like to have in our own pocket at this moment. So I'm showing this knife off not to get everyone else to buy this one, because remember, this one's called the Foray. My name is Ray, by the way. What's your name? So this knife, I'm talking about it and showing it off like I would have done in kindergarten or first grade or second grade. Look at this. This is it's a screw cover. See it? Look how beautifully designed that is. And then when you fully open the knife, it locks into position. And the lock mechanism, which you can actuate from either side, is this. As I pull it back, now the knife can be folded back into its closed position. It's a beautiful knife. Anyway, that's what I had to show for today. But I had something to tell as well. So for show and tell, I'd like to tell you that it's been interesting. Occasionally when I talk about things, I'll attribute the glory of it, the abundance that I've been blessed with, which I never have felt. I've never felt like I deserve what I have. I'm grateful for it all. I'm definitely grateful for all of it. But I don't think that I walk around feeling entitled to it. And since I don't feel entitled to it, it's almost as if it's given to you as a humble participant who follows a certain set of guidelines. And when I talk about that and just the general aspect where what I'm saying is I give credit to the universe, what I'm saying is, what I mean inside of me and my soul and my spirit is that I give credit to God. So to have that level of faith, and I think takes a great deal of humility. And to have that humility, I think I have a different perspective from many people just simply because of the way I was raised. And because of the way I was raised, I was able to learn how to operate in faith a little bit more fully than some people. And that's why I am a little bit, it doesn't matter how I am. What I'm saying is that to operate in faith takes a level of humility that I think a lot of us have begun to take for granted or overlook or just think nothing of, no regard to Jesus or to God. Because, and the reason I say that is because, like most who have already tuned out to what I'm saying, those words themselves are what are causing us to overlook the simple message, which is, again, that this guy Ray here is sitting here telling you, ain't no thing to buy a $660 knife for him. In fact, I bought two. It's a true story. I'll tell you that one later. But the point is, I have not worried about where the money for these items comes from because I understand that they're used as blessings from God. Everything that we have the ability to receive is in abundance from God, sure. But Jesus wouldn't be passing around cheap imitation stuff. When you have genuine stuff right there in your hand, you can't help but recognize it. And when you let it slip through your hands like that, that's irreverent. And to let our wealth slip out of our hands by not understanding that we're spending on sometimes inferior products that don't suit us in the way that we think they do, or our counterparts being the people who are making them, or the resources that are being depleted because those things are being made in mass production for mass consumption, you start wondering, is everything made for mass consumption for me? And if it's not, start turning your back on some of it. So that's basically what I wanted to tell. And I know it sounds pretty ridiculous, well, Ray, I'm not going to go out and start buying, $600 knives if I need a pocket knife today. Well, that's probably true, but your tastes are completely different from mine. In this case, I had to pay a little extra for the knife, but a lot of my other tastes are a lot more simple. So for an example, I don't need all the sports jerseys or all the different foods that go with the events that we're throwing together for sports events regularly. So I have a lot of other money for other things. So that's all I'm saying. I know we spend on our different things that we like, but the quality of the possessions that we're passing down to our family and friends, including the foods that we make each other, are things that we should take into consideration. Because in the time of Hippocrates, when people who were knowledgeable about things based on logic and sound decision making because of an understanding of patterns, when they talked about things like that, they were talking about food as being the absolute driver of our health. So I'm going to tie this back once again to basically, I hope that you're eating more fruits and vegetables and less meat and processed foods every day, so that you can also have some neat things to show for show and tell. So that's really about it. That's a little bit of medicine to think about for you. So what do you have for show and tell?